Islanders, shark fans, welcome back to another video, another shark video. Today's video, as you can tell by the title, is all about a 2.4 metre shark that washed up on a beach in the south of England last week. A very rare species in general, first time in British waters that we know of, and then some trophy hunters beheaded it. Let's get into it. You've probably already seen it. BBC News, The Independent, the usual outlets have all picked up on this. I initially thought this shark was a porbeagle, but a closer inspection, and thanks to also Chris from Shark Bites, a shark scientist, gave me a shout and said it actually looks like a small-toothed sand tiger shark. Tropical shark, they're not really seen in British waters. We'll get into all that shortly. So I thought we'll make a video for it. You guys have asked for it. And I have to say, the shark videos are definitely picking up. We're getting there. This year is going to be a big year for the channel. The last shark video was picked up by quite a few mainstream news people. They got in touch. I did a couple of interviews, so that was pretty good. Anyway, it's actually really windy out here. I'm going to just get in the van. So the shark was found washed up on the Friday, but the story starts on the Thursday. So 38-year-old Alicia Openshaw, I believe she's a hairdresser from the south of England, local area, was out walking her dog when she saw something splashing around about 20 meters offshore. And she thought, shallow water, I'm going to go out and help it. She was with friends. There is video of this, I'll put it here. So yeah, she went out, found it was a shark. It was clearly in distress. It wasn't a small shark either, as you can see. Now these things can weigh quite a lot. They can weigh up to 300 kilograms. They're not a small shark. But fair play to Alicia. She dragged it by the tail fin, put it back in the sea. Shark was seen swimming back off to the Isle of Wight. So what about this area that it was? So I might be pronouncing this wrong, I do apologise. I'm going to call it Lepe Beach or Lepe Beach or Lepe Beach, I don't know. But it's in Hampshire. It's a stony beach. You get views of the Isle of Wight. It's got some pine fringed cliffs. There's some D-Day memorials on there and some really nice wild flowery meadows. The beach itself sits within the Solent, which is around about 20 miles stretch of water between England mainland and the Isle of Wight. It's quite an unusual stretch of water, this, because it's got a double tide. I checked the water conditions on the day. It was 7.1 degrees Celsius according to seatemperatures.org. It was a cold, chilly day, not unusual for that time of year. Nothing unusual about the sea temperature. And I'll be honest, this type of shark does suit warmer waters. To be found in these colder waters is unusual. It is a very rare shark, I'll go into that. This area where it was, Lepe Beach, is not known for having loads of sharks, but around the Isle of Wight and the Solent, they have seen threshers, porbeagles, but the likes of the makos will sit further out the other side of the Isle of Wight generally. It's a very diverse area according to Hampshire and the Isle of Wight Wildlife Trust. There's all sorts there, ranging from spotted rays to long-snouted seahorses, and a wide range of sharks, fish, quite a lot of rocky fish as well. So analysing the photos taken from the beach, you can see it's a healthy looking shark from the outset. It doesn't appear to have any boat strikes or any visible damage that we can see. Obviously there's something gone wrong, the shark's been in some form of distress. I mean, we're putting two and two together here. We're trying to think, is this the same shark as what was videoed the day before? I'm going to say yes, but obviously we can't confirm that. So the species in general, not a lot's known about them. They're so rare that they actually believe there's probably only around 250 to 400 of these in existence. So to have one not only in British waters but this far out of its normal range, they've got quite a scattered range, these sharks. I'll put it on the screen. They're never expected to be up round here anyway. They do frequent the Med, and actually I'd say the biggest hotspot for this type of shark is Lebanon, Beirut. What do we know about these type of sharks? They can grow up to about 13 feet. They can weigh up to 300 kilograms. They're quite a deep water shark that they mostly seen by divers, like quite deep. They've been known to go as deep as 900 meters. They're non-aggressive towards humans. There's been no unprovoked human attacks. They are commonly mistaken as a grey nurse shark. It's a close relative. They're known to travel either on their own or in aggregations of up to five. They're normally seen around reefs. They're quite a docile, slow swimming fish. They like steep and rocky sort of terrain, muddy, sandy bases, ridges. Like most sharks, they are on the decline, and they think this is probably due to the likes of the habitat degradation, overfishing, pollution, and obviously human disturbance. They don't really have many predators. Obviously sharks are cannibals, will attack other sharks, but there is a known parasite, it's a tapeworm, I'll put the name of it on the screen, that does get involved in their sort of intestine, and that has been known to kill a few of them in the past. Certainly around the Canary Islands it's been documented. So they eat bony and rocky fish, they eat invertebrates such as squid. That aside, someone, a trophy hunter or some people, have gone and cut the head, the fins and the tail off this shark and left the rest of it on the beach. Now I totally understand why somebody would do that. Now I would never want to harm a shark, but I do get the shark's dead, somebody probably wants that, and believe it or not, it's not against the law. It's no different than filleting a mackerel according to the law. It's washed up on the beach, it's dead already, but scientists and sort of TV historians such as Dan Snow have put some videos out there sort of explaining there's no issue with you doing that. It might not be moral to cut the head off a dead shark and do whatever, but if you will just return the shark to the scientists, get in touch with the Sharks Trust or any of these guys on Twitter, by any chance if one of you guys are watching this, which, you know, you never know, they just want to do some analysis on the jaw, the brain. And by the way, a shark's brain is about this big. A great white shark's brain is about that big. As we know, I focus primarily on great white sharks. It will be returned to those guys if they do get in touch, and it would be great because they can find information out, such as from pre-birth, about information of these sharks, especially being so rare. It's quite unusual to have a shark like this wash up on the beach. We've seen large paw beagles wash up on the beach in the past. People do like to take the photos, etc., the Instagram, TikTok generation. But what would concern me is if this was say a great white that washed up, someone may take a few photos and then take the head off it or something, and then we are going to lose out on so much scientific research. Or if you don't know, on this channel I do believe great white sharks do come into British waters, and that's what we're going to go out looking for this summer, and all things marine life and sharks. We've got the boat, we're going to do that. That's a plan. Future video will explain the mission at hand. I just put on Instagram a few minutes ago, did anyone have any questions? So let's pop over there and have a look. I'll pop it up on the screen for you. Said I was making a quick video about this as requested. Okay, first one up. Why is it so far from home? Good question, don't know. I have to say this year, or certainly in the last 12 months, we've seen quite a change in the marine life that we've seen. Like, we had loads of bluefin tuna in these waters off the island where I live. There was a 4.5 metre swordfish filmed off here last summer. Obviously we know we've got orcas, and what else is out there we don't really know, but the only way to get out there is look. But yeah, I don't know why it was so far off where they're meant to be. Maybe they're always here and we just don't know. Are sharks becoming more common along UK coastlines than 50 years ago? No, I would say not. With the overfishing and certainly the pollution in the waters in certain areas, I would say no. If you look at the orcas, our orca pods are probably going to die out because they haven't reproduced since the 90s or something because of is it PCBs in their blood? So no, I don't think we're getting any more sharks. I think what we've got is less than what we've ever had. Are you trying to deter people from the sea? I swim in the sea, my kids swim in the sea. I live pretty much not far from a beach. We're always in the water. You're perfectly safe in British waters. Even if there were great whites, I saw in the Malibu artist, he is always filming drone footage of great whites right next to people in California. And think how many people go in the water there and how infrequent attacks are. I'm a firm believer that waters are safe. Sharks should not be vilified, and you'll see that this year. If I see sharks, I'm going in and I'll show you that. What journey path do you think it took to arrive here, Med, or over from the US? I think from the Mediterranean, personally. I think they've probably come up from we know they frequent France and Spain, so yeah, although not in large numbers. Does this mean more of nice little things on our seas, or a one-off? Probably a one-off with that type of shark, but nobody knows. Tiger shark, yeah, the sand-toothed tiger shark is not to be confused with the tropical tiger shark that is quite often referred to, you know, you see around Hawaii, etc. They are known to attack people in certain situations. These are totally different sharks. Just a little O-Search update. I spoke to Chris Fisher, the expedition lead for O-Search, the people who tag great white sharks, currently off America. Their plan is still to come to the UK. They're probably going to have to come here several years in a row, is what he's saying. go to UK and Ireland waters first, and if they do find anything, they'll tag it, and then we'll see where it goes, and then they're going to head down the Mediterranean. So that is still very much a plan. Chris from Shark Bites, I'm sure most of you are aware of his channel. We're going to do some sort of collab shortly. He is a scientist. I consider myself more of an adventurer. I like getting out there and learn about sharks, but I am not a marine biologist. He is, so it's great to have someone like that on board and discuss all things great whites, so that'll be a real treat. And just to finish off, we have over 40 species of sharks in British waters. The oceans cover, what, 72% of the planet, so it's still incredibly mysterious, and that's a real sense of adventure for someone like me who's got a boat, who's going to get out there, chum the waters, free dive reefs, go to shipwrecks. We've got known seal colonies all over where I live. We'll go check them out, and you never know what will come along. I would love to see an orca in the wild. That is a dream of mine. But hey, I look forward to taking you guys with me on the journey, and thanks again for joining me in the van. I look forward to when the weather improves so we can get outside and film some more. Cheers guys. Any questions or whatever, whazz them down in the comments and I'll try and get to you. Cheers guys, have a good week. I'll see you out there soon.